Posting content isn't the same as connecting. It doesn't make people feel something. I'm showing up, I'm doing the thing, but nothing is actually happening. Why the content you post isn't leading to connection. And then you refresh your feed for 6 times and nothing. Let's just say it. Posting content isn't the same as connecting, and yet that's what I see most people do. Posting, checking a box, maybe it looks good, maybe it sounds a little bit smart, but you know what it doesn't do? It doesn't make people feel something. So if you ever thought, but I'm showing up, I'm doing the thing, but nothing is actually happening. Well, this episode is exactly just for you. And let's talk about why the content you post isn't leading to connection and what you can actually do instead. Let's go for it. Okay, let's be real for a second here. We've all been there. You create a post, you spend way too long tweaking the caption, you finally hit publish, and then you refresh your feed for 6 times and nothing. Maybe a like, maybe your cousin gives it a little heart, gives it a little love for appreciation, but the DMs you were hoping for, the comments, the saves, the hey, oh my, I need this message. Well, let me just say this. Posting doesn't equal connection. Connection happens when a person on the other side screen says things like, I feel this is just for me, or this helped me, or even better, this person completely gets me. But you can't get there by talking at people. Get there by making them feel something, or actually making them feel seen and heard and understood. And that's not what Canva does for you. They're actually they design the whole thing, right? You design the ultimate look at how do you want it, but it is not about the fonts. It's about the energy and the tone and the relevance of what you're putting out there. So let's dissect this a little bit more, okay? So one of the things that we need to start doing is to create content that sounds good but doesn't feel empty. And here's the part where most people actually focus on. And there's a lot of content that sounds fine. Really, it sounds fine. It sounds very polished. It sounds clean. Maybe it's even, maybe it gets a few saves from other people that content actually resonates with them, but it doesn't move them. It doesn't move really enough. Why? Because it's focused on more on broadcasting. It's here's what I do, and here's my offer, or here's what I did, and here's why I am great, and here's what I like. I mean, no shade, to be honest, with anybody listening here, but that's not a conversation with anybody that you find on social. So that's more like a monologue. And nobody has 15 minutes to stick around for you to brag about what you were doing. I want you to actually think about it. Would you actually go on a second date with someone who only talks about themselves? Like, yeah, exactly, right? No. Then that means that you should be trying to lure them into your world with something completely different. And I love to do this in my own check in with myself. If it doesn't move me, if it's not triggering me, if it's not making me laugh, if it's not making me smile, if it's not making me think, then that means that I'm not getting excited when I'm seeing my own content. Then that means I need to go back and rework it. As simple as that. Now, the second thing that I want us to talk about a little bit is that what connection looks like in a content. Okay, so let me show you the difference. Say you're posting something and you say, I help service based business owners build a magnetic brand. It's okay. I mean, it's cool, fine. But if we really want to connect with the audience or who is ever going to be consuming this, let's rework it into something like you ever felt like you were amazing at what you do, but you still don't get it. Yeah, that's a messaging problem. It's not a you problem. Now, you see the difference. You are making the entire conversation about them. It's not about you, it is about them. The first one that we said is more considered to be like a tagline. And then the other one is like more like oh my god, that's so me, because you are trying to connect to that person that is actually reading or hearing what you're putting out. And when your content gives someone that feeling, that's when they actually click. When they that's when they actually remember you, and that's when they actually start trusting you or to build that trust. And that's why they actually become a lead, not just a follower, because they like the content that you're putting out. So take the example I just gave you and I want you to actually try to use it for yourself. Okay. So the third one that I want to talk to you about is how to stop posting and start connecting. And here's what I want you to try and do this week. First, I want you to drop the performance. I know it sounds dramatic, but it's not really. It's I don't want you don't need to sound professional. You don't need to sound it. You need to sound relatable. You need to, and I want you to write like you talk to a very smart friend, and I bet you have those very smart friends because you're smart, not like you're submitting a masterpiece proposal to a company. No. Okay. The second thing that I want you to do is to ask better questions. And now, what's your biggest struggle? I don't want you to ask that. I want you to try something like, what's the thing that you hate admitting about your business, or the thing you hate admitting about you, or anything related to what exactly that you do within, obviously, as a service, right? People answer when it feels human. Because if you are simply asking them, what's your biggest struggle? I'm like, yeah, what kind of context are we talking about? You have to tell them, right? So make it feel more you when you are simply asking these questions so you can actually get better answers. The more specific you are with these questions, the more specific people will answer. That is the theory and the practice as well, by the way. Now, the third thing that I want you to try and do this week is to say the thing that people are thinking, but they are too polite to say. Now, this is going to be, actually, this is going to be your superpower. Okay. And we have to make it that. I want you to take a stance. I want you to be clear. I know clear sometimes gets the bad reputation, but you have to be specific. You have to be clear. If you know the client is wasting time because Y, Z, X, anything, say it. Say it. Try it. Try it just a little bit, one time. And if your industry is giving bad advice, that is trashing and is bad, and then call it out. Call it out and do as you would do it. Say what you would do. I don't think people will feel bad if you have your own opinions, honestly. Okay. You don't need more posts. You just need a little bit of more truth, the truth that comes from within you. And I want you to think about your content this way. No copywriter can feel what you feel about your business. No copywriter can feel and know about who your clients are, their struggles. Okay. So I want you to think about your content this way. If someone got to see one of your posts today, would they actually feel seen by them, or would they feel like you're just simply saying stuff because you're just simply saying stuff, or would it feel like it's just another nice looking little post on your feed that is probably, targeted to your, probably to your competitors, to be honest, or but not to your ideal clients? Because if you tell me that your feed is beautiful, but it's not targeted to your ideal potential clients, then we gotta rework these feeds. We gotta rework these posts. We gotta rework the reels. And because the truth is that connection will always win. When you are trying to create content that connects, that will always win. And I know you might be thinking, oh my God, all this sounds really great, but I might need a lot more time to create this copy and this writing to get a better hook. And you know what? I honestly feel that this should be worth your time and your energy. And if you have other people that are doing your social media for you, then please give them these points or make them listen to this episode so they can actually really help you stand out and not blend in. Because that is whole entire point of creating content. And we don't need more generic content, especially now in 2025 and beyond. Believe me, is not the fanciest of brands or the biggest of audiences. It is the person who makes people feel something, and that person makes them feel understood. And I know that person can be you. I truly honestly believe that that person can be you. And if you want more of these kind of like honest and no BS talk in your life, come and sign up for my daily emails. They're short, they're real, and they're packed with a kind of marketing advice you actually want to read. And they're actually just a continuation of what I talk here, but even deeper, more funny, more entertaining. And I take one idea at a day to help you show up, get seen, and get chosen. Because that's the whole purpose of what I do. And yes, I write them daily. They're part of my daily routine. Me being here with you, it's also important. And you can sign up in the show description or simply go to my Instagram and message me the word daily, and I will automatically add you there. And I really hope I see you in your inbox, to be honest. And in the meantime, I'll see you same time, same place next week. Bye bye. Thank you.